Hey everyone, Ian here with Train Like You Fight, and this week I want to talk to you guys about military boots. I just got done doing a 9-mile ruck march, and I felt it was a good time to talk about all my different pairs of military boots that I've accumulated over the years. This is definitely not all my military boots I've owned over the years, but these are the ones I still have around and that I still use to this day. So, over here on your right, these are kind of your hard use type of boots. They're good for a lot of just hard work, and then we'll start moving into the more lightweight minimalist boots. And so over here we have the Ultima black jungle boots, and these are I've had these for almost 7 years now. They're a great tough boot. They've held up over the years. Now they've seen better days. They're obviously not polished up and good looking like they used to be, but they're a pretty tough boot. I've had to shoe glue the front of them, but they're just a tough boot. They are made in the United States. There's a little American flag that they always put on the tongue of their boots, but these are a great hard use type of boots. Those of you who are in the military, maybe in the early 2000s to maybe the late 90s, are probably all too familiar with these black jungle boots. And like I said, great work boot. Really not the best for ruck marches because there is a steel shank that runs down the inside of these. This heavy tread pattern is just really not good for road marches. But again, great hard work type of boot. Now this right here is the standard issue U.S. Army boot that every soldier gets two pairs of these when they enlist in the Army. My other pair has seen better days, but they're still holding up. And these are, again, they're a good hard work type of boot. They're really not that great for ruck marches. They're really heavy. The sole is very thick on them. The tread's pretty aggressive, not too bad. It's not like those jungle boots where it's that big clunky type of tread. But these do not, they don't shed away sweat. They're hot. They don't hold up very well in ruck marches. Well, your feet won't hold up very well in ruck marches. I use these for my German Armed Forces ruck march and my final ruck march in boot camp, and they definitely give you some hot spots on the sides of the toes, and it's just they're really not a great boot for ruck marching. They're not great for your feet. So those are kind of my hard work type of boots. I had the Army steel toe boots. I really don't ever use those, but these here are the Belleville Minimalist, and that stands for Minimalist Boot, and I do not recommend these at all. I don't recommend anyone ever buys these because they are comfortable, I will say. So if you're just kind of like a desk jockey in the Army and you're just walking around your armory or whatever all day, then these might be okay. But if you're ruck marching, the first time I ever did a ruck march with these, it was only like a 6-miler, and I had some horrible plantar fasciitis after I got done with it. Felt like there were rocks in my boots. My heels hurt so bad. And it's because there's no heel to these things. That heel is literally like that thin. This just wraps up the side. So this right here, your foot sits probably all the way down to here. As you can tell, they're super flexible. They do have a Kevlar liner, so you're not going to get a nail through your foot, most likely, if you ever step on a nail. But there's not enough cushion here for ruck marching, so not a good hiking or ruck marching boot. They're comfortable. I use them as kind of everyday, just general use work boots, cutting the grass, stuff like that. But definitely don't ever use these for ruck marches. They're not made for it. I'm a runner. I got some pretty tough feet, and I bought these because they're advertised as runner's boots, but they just don't do the job. So now these are my two newest pairs of boots. They're compliant with the new OCP uniforms that we wear in the Army now. And so these are the Nike SFBs. And these are actually a pretty good pair of boots. I had the SFB ones in tan, and my unit really didn't care that they were non-AR 670-1 compliant. That's just the Army's uniform regulation. But the problem with those SFB ones were the rubber was just too soft on them. They just fell apart on me. They used a fake leather that was supposed to wick away like sweat and water and dirt, or not dirt, but sweat and water very easily. They're okay at doing that, but they're poorly constructed. They just fell apart on me, so I really didn't like them. Now the SFB2s, which these are in Coyote Brown, have a nice, real tough tread on them. It's nice. It's a hard rubber. They have this really aggressive texturing right here. They say it's for climbing ropes, stuff like that. I've climbed a few climbing ropes in the Army, and I really don't notice a huge difference. But these are a pretty good pair of boots. I do notice that on the outside here where my pinky toe is, I do get a little bit of a hot spot sometimes, not too bad. After they've broken in, there is a break-in period on these because they are made of real suede leather. But these are a good, nice, lightweight boot. They're great for running in. They're good for ruck marches. I've never had any heel pain besides the fact that you might be able to see a slight bulge right here. This is right where the stitching is, which in my opinion is a horrible horrible thing that Nike did, putting the stitching right here, because it has rubbed my heel raw before. And so a quick fix to that, thanks to my aunt who is a physical therapist. She highly recommended I get some heel wedges to put in here. And no, it's not because I'm 5'8" and I'm trying to look taller. No, these things actually prop my heel up just enough above this line where the stitching is that it stopped rubbing my heel raw, and it was actually starting to give me some heel bursitis. So it really helped putting those little heel wedges in there. So highly recommend these. Most people have never heard them complain about the heel thing, but it happened to me. So if that's happening to you, just put some heel wedges in here and they work just fine. Now, my final pair of boots that I've only had for about 3 days now, and I just only 3 days into having them, barely even wore them at all, took them out on a 9-mile ruck march, and I was confident enough to use them on a brand new pair of boots on a 9-mile ruck march because the leather here is real soft. It's real leather. These are the Garmin T8s, if I failed to mention that earlier. But it's a real soft leather. It's real, so I'm not worried about it breaking down on me anytime soon. But these are really nice. I think this is the only pair of boots I've ever worn that I've never had a hot spot on my big toe or my pinky toe on the sides here. No heel pain at all. They did it right. There's no stitching that runs right along the heel. So nice big heel cup on them. I like this big loop to help pull on the boots. I like the slightly heavier tread pattern. It's really not that bad. I did all pavement with this ruck march I just did, so this heavier tread pattern isn't too bad. I know they make a lightweight one built for more agile running type of stuff, but I want some a little tougher. So these Vibram soles, I know they're going to hold up. Vibram makes a good product. The flat shoelaces are a little different, kind of strange. They don't cinch down real easy like the SFB shoelaces do because they're round, but it's kind of interesting, the lacing system. There's this little ball bearing right here, which they claim, I'm still kind of a skeptic, but they claim that it helps to isolate when you pull down these laces here. It keeps this front end from tightening down. So what you'll do is you'll adjust this to the tightness that you like, and then obviously when you take on and take off the boots, you have to loosen up these front laces. So when you grab these and cinch these down, the front collar here will cinch down, but this will not. So I'm kind of a skeptic on that still, but overall it's a great pair of boots. Only had them a few days, so I can't give you a great review, but I think going for a 9-mile ruck march with literally a brand new pair of boots without any heel pain, with any hot spots or anything, is a pretty good testament. So these Garmin T8s are here to stay. I really like these. The SFBs, had some trouble with them in the beginning, but they're pretty good now. So that's it for all my different military boots. As you can tell, I have owned a lot of different pairs of boots, and so I just hope those of you guys who are in the military can get a good idea of what you might want to get for your next pair of boots. With the new uniforms coming out, I know we gotta get the brown boots now, so I hope I can give you guys a good idea of what to purchase. If you're big into hiking and all that stuff, I highly recommend these boots. So guys, thanks for watching, and remember to train like you fight.